So you've had a little bit of a layoff, right, with the UFC due to the suspension. That's up in October, right?
Yes.
Up in October. So right now you're just staying active as far as training, getting better, I'm assuming, and then looking to fight in October.
Yes. Now I just use my time to train different things and improve some things that I need to improve, and take care about my academy, my family. So I really enjoy this time because everything that happening in our life has 2 points, a good way and bad way. It depends how you think. So last year was so tough to me, very hard because I got busted from USADA. I did something that I shouldn't did, but it happened. It was on purpose. But at the end of the day, I have to be under suspension now for 18 months. But was tough because at the beginning I felt like I was guilt because they said that I was lying and do some wrong stuffs. But I didn't do that to be a cheater. No, I just used 7 keto, was a very common substance that you can find wherever in CVS. But at the end of the day, the good point that I being under suspension is because I can enjoy my family, I can train more relaxed, and I can take care about my academy, do a couple of seminars, do some speech, not in English, but in Portuguese. Because according my English master, Hannah Grace, I'm still blue belt. Yeah, I never passed. Blue belt.
Blue belt in English?
No, he's getting closer though, bro. He's been training hard. We've been working.
Three-stripe blue belt.
Yeah, he's three-stripe blue. No, he's getting
days.
close, bro. He's there.
So that whole USADA situation, for those that don't know, you're randomly tested 365 days a year, and they just showed up your house at like 6 in the morning.
Was that the one where you were at the academy? Was that the one?
Yes, the one that the academy
We were training at the academy, and we were in the private room, and then someone was like, bop, 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 knocking on the door, and we opened it up, and there was maybe a woman plus another 2 guys.
Yes.
And they said, "Come out here right now. You did a urine test at that point."
They take
and
blood,
I was so calm, because I knew that I was clean. No, I knew I'm clean.
You didn't worry.
And it didn't work like that.
And then when you got notified of the violation, do they call you? How do you find out? Do you find out on Twitter like the rest of us?
Well, first go back. So you told them when you got, because it wasn't the urine test sample.
No.
It was, they asked you what supplements do you take?
Yes.
And then that's when you told. Then at the academy, what did you tell them?
So I disclosed everything. So they asked me first, Leoro, what are you taking? I said, I taking whey protein. I taking 7 keto. I taking everything. So I said that because I didn't know it was
banned substance.
It's a banned substance. In the fight week, during the fight week, I was there in Florida for the fight. It was Wednesday. And they said, Leoro, you have something wrong with the USADA. I said, what happened? But I was very, very calm because I said, no, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
And he came up to me and said, no, Leoro, you take some supplement, 7 keto. So we was in the room, me, my manager, George, about 12 hours inside the room in Florida in the hotel, discussing about the things. What are they going to do? They're going to cancel my fight. I'm going to fight. So it was so stressful. And my assistant publicist in Brazil, they take over everything and see what you have to say in the social media and explain everything. So it was tough.
It was crazy. And the time between your test at the academy and the actual notification was a long time, I feel like.
Yes.
Was weeks. Was not
Yes.
It wasn't 2 days.
Yes.
It was at least 2 or 3 weeks.
It's a
which
little
was crazy.
ridiculous how long it takes, but you know why it takes that long?
Tell me.
From what I've heard from that Nowitzki, who I call the golden snitch. He is a gentleman who I think Rogan asked him when he was on his podcast. He asked why it takes so long. It's because they want to make sure that what they found, they're repeatedly testing over and over. And then they get the B sample and they test that. Because if they do that to a guy like Lyoto,
But my whole point is this wasn't even a test. This is simply his disclosure. It didn't come out. It wasn't even in the urine. It wasn't even. It didn't show because you had been taking this supplement for how long? before this
Yes,
fight
yes.
for years.
And what's the advantage of 7 keto?
7 keto just control your cortisol, your stress.
Sure.
So I came from 2 losses in a row. So I was very nervous, very stressed with my training camp.
Of course.
So
Been there.
that's why I took supplement like 7 keto to be more calm, to be more it's kind of.
And when you disclosed it to them, did they go, "Oh my God," or were they just like, "Okay," and wrote it down like they wrote down
just wrote it down and didn't say anything.
They didn't know either. It was illegal
Yeah, they
until,
didn't know
until
either.
someone at the
The
office
guy who
told-
came to me,
Yeah, nobody
asked me,
knew
they didn't
anything.
know.
So that's what's crazy is that they waited. He told
It
them
is ridiculous.
it wasn't a urine test. In other words, here's the thing. And that's what's and I think that has been made clear before in other interviews Lyoto did. That's what's crazy is that it didn't show up on his test, and he got penalized for disclosing something that he's taking that. And the fact that they waited so long to tell him, right? This was fight week, bro. He was in Tampa. I was getting on a flight. His wife, I was about to get on a flight to go to Tampa.
Hold on. So they actually didn't find the supplement in the test? They're
no-
going based
so the
off
fir- the- so
his...
They went off the disclosure.
Disclosure.
The
Yeah.
disclosure is what you got penalized
Yes,
on.
yes.
In other
First
words,
of all-
if you
first of
say,
all-
"Yo, I've been smoking crack cocaine," or "I've been doing this," or "I've been doing that," and and you just say it, they don't need to find it anywhere. If you're disclosing
That's
that you're doing
ridiculous.
that, something illegal, they can go off of that.
So I did one test at the beginning of the April.
Yes.
So I was taking exactly what I was
What you were taking later, yeah.
we were taking later. So my test came very clean because I didn't say anything because I forgot to say. But the second test, I think.
that he said he was because you were so
Yes.
relaxed at the
Too
academy.
bad you didn't
Yes.
forget.
So, but
Damn it.
The second test, I told to my wife, hey, I have to remember everything. So I have to tell everything to the user.
Dude, the honest right here. He's trying to disclose
I know.
everything, and
And
they're
it
like,
really
"Oh, thanks for
screwed you."
telling us."
Now you just say whey protein. Whatever. Well, just whey protein,
No,
coconut
nothing,
water.
nothing.
Just acai and tapioca,
acai,
bro.
How about coconut water? That's it. Yeah, just put down coconut water. I can't.
how crazy,
my
bro.
palms sweat from thinking about the moment when you're in Florida in that room and they come in and go, Lyoto, you've been flagged for USADA violation
Because
I feel like it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize when that news comes out, whether it's 7 keto, whatever it is, you get labeled by the general
yeah.
public as a cheater.
100%.
They don't do any research. They don't look into
No.
7 keto. Like that might as well be freaking
Yeah, it could be.
testosterone.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they just see
Yes.
flat.
It's a bad reputation. It's a bad.
You could drank a bunch of coffee, get flagged for caffeine. They think steroids.
Steroids. If you get
cheater.
flagged for banned substance, the automatic is steroids.
No
It's
one looks into
100%.
it. So when you're in that room, they come in. They're like, "Lito, you got flagged, man." I myself would want to curl up into a ball in the fetal position and just start sucking my thumbs. Like, I'm just gonna stay here. Can I just lease this land here and just stay forever?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to come out.
So imagine my situation because I came from very traditional martial arts.
Oh yeah.
I have a father that he's so strict. He was so strict in my upbringing. So he was with me over there. And he said, Lyoto, right after the thing, we was in the room, he said, Lyoto, I want to ask you 2 things. I said, okay. First of all, you have to say excuse me to Dana White because he's one of the promoter of the show. He gave you the opportunity and you commit mistakes. And for your opponent. And after, for all of your fans. That thing's very, very important to say because you have to recognize, even though if you didn't do anything on purpose, but you commit some mistake, you have to recognize that and do this, please. So I text Dan Henderson and said to him that excuse me, I'm so sorry what happened. And I know you have a good preparation, but unfortunately you cannot make it. And I text Dana White as well, and all my fans I post on social media.
And what was your response from Dan and Dana?
So-
Dan gets it. Dan
Yeah, but
understands the game.
He also shot back. I remember when it went
Yes.
back. It happened back then. He wasn't so because again, Dan.
He was emotional right away.
Well, think
Remember,
about
he
this.
went to
Well,
Twitter.
Dan, like the general public, made their automatic assumptions. This guy's a cheater. This guy's, you know what I'm saying? The default is, Dan, you're complete. If you get flagged, the default is that USADA is right and it's all good and they're correct in their assessment.
Every time.
Right. So there you go. So at that very moment, it's understandable maybe that Dan was
Yeah, so
frustrated.
yes.
And imagine if it happened to you, where you did all the preparation, all
Yes.
there. Your whole family's there from Brazil, and then Dan gets flagged for something. It's almost like you don't even care what it is.
No.
You're pissed off that he didn't
Yes.
come and make it happen. So
Dan, I
that's-
get.
That's understandable. Yeah, he
did
was
Dan
upset.
respond?
No,
back or
I
no?
understand. I understand both of them.
Yes.
Even Dana White and
What
Dan.
did Dana or Dan text
No,
you back?
Dana, he said, no, it's okay, man, but you have to look the things very well before you take something.
Because think about it, because for Dana, he has to be in a tough position because he's frustrated as hell.
Yeah.
He doesn't want Nowitzki to find this bolt. 7 keto, that's what a waste of our time, man.
Right.
And then you pull the guy Lyoto Machida a fight against Dan Anderson. So the UFC's like they're just as upset as you guys are.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone lose. It's a lose-lose, naturally, and you have to learn from it and move on. But so, what was the second thing your dad said?
The second thing he said, the first thing I want you, and the
Apologize
second
to all those
thing,
people.
the second thing, Lyoto, forget what happened. Everything already passed.
Yeah.
Think from now on. No, don't think more in the past.
That's amazing.
Life is like now.
Yep.
Okay, you already commit mistake. You already
It's
say,
already- it's
I'm
already
sorry.
passed."
Already passed.
Yeah.
Now move on.
I love it.
But he said that, but it was tough to move on.
I
was
can't
tough.
imagine.
But
'Cause you
le-
probably went into a dark place. Like even if your dad said that, I get it. It's great. Your dad could be Tony Robbins, like very good. And then when you get home, you're all by yourself.
Yes.
You see all the backlash on social media. Your fans and it's tough. So I'm sure you were in a dark place for a little bit.
yeah, of course, man, of course. But the calm that my father was in that moment, I was very impressed. He said, "No, your life sometimes like that. Just accept everything, surrender in a good way, like give everything that you have. That's the most important thing that you have to do in your life. Sometimes you don't accept.
Yeah.
When you don't accept something, it's hard because it's all about ego, vanity, all about, so you want to show something, you want to prove something.
Yeah.
No, accept, surrender in a good way.
Yeah, your dad's a real life ninja.
That's
you guys are all.
That's so important. That's what I try to put in my life every day. So
Well, what else are you gonna do, Lyoto? I mean, your dad's correct. Like, obviously, I think it's good to be upset about it, but I think you have to move on. What else are you gonna do? Just dwell on it? And literally, Nowitzki doesn't care. He's on to the next one. The UFC's on to the next one. So you gotta take care of Lyoto and the family.